it's been a long 2 weeks. While I've been drowning in the sorrow with no new Chainsaw Man chapters to read, I was forced to do things I would never do before, like exercising, conversing, touching grass, not praying to God to revive Powie, scaring Kobeni, eating, well, Nation? Yep. That's about all I've been doing. However, with this new chapter out, I have been blessed. So, let's jump into the chapter. Also, a big shout out to you guys for making the last couple of Chainsaw Man videos a huge success for me. I never in a million years expected a secondary channel, no less, to have people take to it so well. So thank you, and if this video gets 200 likes, I will be so happy and it will make my day a hell of a lot better. So, let's jump into the video. We pick up from the last chapter. Denji and Asa have procured a bike and are now making their grand Hollywood-esque escape, all the while being chased by, well, I'm gonna call it a tentacle baby. I think that's a funny name for it. An issue you guys had noticed in the last video is I didn't even realize the bike turned into a chainsaw bike. And that's because I went to the doctor's that day of and got blundrawed, so I didn't know what I was saying or what I was doing. But basically, getting back into the chapter, Denji very simplistically puts it that he didn't know he could make the bike look all badass. And man, let me tell you, Denji will always be Denji, and this is why we love him so much. He says a lot of this smooth brain shit. So Asa then recalls what the fake Chainsaw Man said about outrunning them to survive, which Denji doesn't believe him. After all, in his mind, he is the fake Chainsaw Man. So how could he ever say the truth? He's a fake.
Hey, you know who lives in this house? A great big phony!
But they don't get too much time to think as gigantic tentacles in the sky start to descend upon them and destroy the road. But Denji, being Denji, you know, there's no road, might as well just drive the bike on the side of a building. Because after all, this bike is made of chainsaws. You're in the wrong. Not him. While this happens, we see the demon behind this attack. He doesn't seem to be having too much fun. Actually, he does seem a little frustrated the more I think about it, which makes me think that a lot of these devils are having a very hard time trying to kill Denji and Asa in particular. So he manifests himself in a tentacle and transforms his arm into a mallet and continues to chase them. So at this point, I'm just like, this is just like a straight up Uncharted game. While he's being chased, there is also a building coming down sent from the falling devil herself, and she uses a one-liner even. She says, "Eat this." So the building falls, but they survive, only to play into the tentacle baby's plans, so to speak. So the landing isn't going to be as great or as graceful. But I was surprised how this chapter felt. After all, it was primarily just a part and I imagine a much longer chase sequence. But I cannot lie, the scene of the falling devil throwing an entire building at Denji and Asa and saying, "Eat this," may be one of the most important moments in the new Roaring 20s. I mean, there is simply nothing more iconic than this devil so far in Chainsaw Man. I swear. Every time she's in one of these chapters, there is always something she does which is memorable or quotable or something like that, and she makes these chapters so much more entertaining. However, as for the final moments of this chapter, I see it playing out in a few different ways. These are basically the only theories I have for this video, but for one, Denji and Asa could just cut through the devil entirely and make it out the other side, which would be a pretty cool moment, and also one that's likely going to happen, I could see. Or they could just, get trapped in his stomach and have to fight their way out. It's most likely the first one, and I don't know how useful this is to share with you guys, but that's a theory. I thought I might anyways, since it's such a short chapter. Really though, I just want to see Mappa animate this building sequence. There is nothing cooler than using a gigantic building and throwing it at people. There's nothing cooler than the way that looks. Also, the tentacle guy looks like he's straight out of Doom or something, which is really cool and a nice little detail there. But anyways, that was it for this week's Chainsaw Man chapter. Very short and sweet, but if you missed my previous Chainsaw Man videos, then here you go. I'll see you all over there on those videos. Thank you for watching. Now click the damn link.